that have been released just recently by SFT, Super Fishing Tackle. They come in a 45 10 gram and the smaller 35 5 gram sizes. They're just fantastic on a whole range of species. You know, I've used these things on bream, flathead, even whiting have taken them. They're great in fresh water on bass and redfin, and even jewfish. If you're chasing them in salt water, you can jig in deep holes for jewfish with these things, and they're just dynamite. My favourite for that is these barred ones with the reflective finish. Let's have a look at the external finish on these things and the attention to detail. Like I said, the finish is brilliant. They've got like a double coated hardened paint surface, which sets them aside from a lot of other vibes that just crack and paint comes off them when you start catching a few fish. But the finish on these is going to stick. Have a look at the attention to detail. The first thing you'll pick up, like any bait fish you'll find in a system, are these really prominent eyes, and they're very reflective, which I think makes a whole lot of difference when you're going after fish, especially in clear water. But in natural light, that comes up and just shines beautifully. There are some other colours, like some sort of matte finishes and like a fire tiger style colour. There's about 10 different colours, I think. If you take a look on the website, on Cato's website, they'll show you. The other features that I really love about this is just that etched in gill plate you can see there. And even the attention to detail with the little nose and the mouth there. Like I said, clear water options are just, really sets itself aside from other vibes. If you look at the weight distribution, it's this fluid dynamic head that makes it really good in slow sort of retrieving conditions, where if you're after a slower retrieve where you still need that high cadence, these things are going to do it for you. You can change your tow point like you can on a lot of vibes, but the way that this has been designed is that at slow speeds you're still going to get this working on a retrieve. So I've been using it for casting and retrieving, just searching for fish across flats, chasing bream and flathead and that sort of thing. And what you'll find is that it'll still vibe really, really well when you're retrieving it slowly or hopping it across flats and that sort of thing. There is a little bit of a difference, and you might be able to pick it up between the two sizes, which this smaller size, the B35, when you get that working, it'll really wobble, and the cadence is a nice wide hard vibe that you'll get coming back. And the 45s is just a little bit less. You definitely can still feel it through your rod tip, and they both go crazy, but this one will get a little bit wider, which is obvious just because it's such a small bait, but still the same design. The other features it's got, these double hooks. Let me just show you how these things are so sticky. They're like a real tournament grade sticky hook, and you've got to watch yourself getting these things out of the pack because they just hook up on absolutely anything. Pinning fish like soft-lipped bream, for example, it's no problem at all. And then being able to penetrate onto, if you're chasing tarpon or Saratoga, those harder bony mouth fish, they're going to penetrate better than anything else. So those hooks set up as a double, which makes them a lot less snaggy on themselves. A lot of vibes will catch themselves, but these ones can't with their design, you can see there. And they're very easy to use. Obviously you can cast a mile with these things, especially that 10 gram one just fires out. This is a little bit different to a lot of vibes. It's got this little tail tinsel trim on the back end there, which is just like a kinky fibre that people use for fly tying and that sort of thing. And then it's got this attractor bead at the back where you can, I'm not sure if you're picking that up in the video, but you can loosen it right up so it'll start to move a lot on your retrieve. As you're bringing it in, it can fly all over the place, or you can tighten it right up and have it sit so it vibes with the lure as you pull it through the water. So it's another little option at the back if you wanted to run like that. I've used these a lot. Mainly I chase bream and flathead when I'm using these things, but you'll pick up a whole range of species just because they look just so realistic. And so that's what you're looking for. You're really looking for smaller bait presentations, and in fresh or salt water. In fresh water, I've used these things in and around, you know, heavy cover where you can just drop them down and almost vertically jig them along the sides of logs and things. And I know guys use them when they sound bream up and bass in the fresh water. They're a great option, especially for people even getting into cast and retrieve lure fishing, because they're so easy to cast and it gives you that chance to have a long retrieve to call fish in with that vibe. These are some of my favourites. This little barred one looks just like a barred grunner that is in a lot of the local bass fisheries. This IU colour here that just really sends off a lot of that flash. And then things like that, just like a baby herring, and even like a fire tiger. There's a whole range of colour options. If you just have a look on the web page, you can see all the options and the colour numbers. Even these dark ones are great for flathead. They're the SFT Butterfly Vibe. That's the packet that they come in. So they've got some great tips on how to use them on the back there. The price point, I think they're about $12.95. Check them out on catofishingworld.com.